I'm good.
All right, we're good?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the greatest Colloquium Cactus in existence, Adventures in Bad Taste. I'm here with the boys. Raytron. Oh, no, I did that wrong, didn't I? The human calculator with the numerical nomenclature. Raytron 1, 2, 3. The man with a plan and the ultimate Nas fan, the Electric Jolt, EJ. And yours truly, the strongest man in the universe, he who guards the Guardians. Vanguard rides again. And today we have with us our most exalted guest, the boy who who shaped all of our recent memories.
It's a stereo girl. It's a stereo girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Sigma Supreme. The Sigma Supreme. That was the title we bequeathed on him.
Yeah. Sigma Supreme is fine. I'll roll
The
with
Sigma
it.
Supreme.
Sigma Supreme or Ref, whichever one's easier to say tonight.
we'll
Ref
say
would
Ref.
probably be easier.
The legend.
Yeah,
the
living
legend himself. The man, the myth, the monster. But what you guys been up to this week?
Work.
I've been straight. I started off. I've been straight. Been good. I'm looking forward to this weekend that I finally have off. Work has been going good. The money looking good. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the right. This year's starting off good for me. So just want to keep that momentum going.
That's good.
And yeah.
What about you, Raytron?
I got an interview tomorrow. Let's hope that goes well. That's it. I'm just chilling otherwise.
Yeah. What about you, Sigma Supreme? What have you been up to this week?
I'm pretty much saving up for my next car. I talked out with the guy who sold me my last car. He's in the search. It's nothing special, but just saving up for a new car.
That's good. I'm also trying to save. I lost my headphone case somehow. I don't know where I lost it. But I looked at it as an opportunity. I was kind of happy I lost it because then I was finally able to do what Ray was doing, where he wasn't listening to any music. I'll listen to music when I get home sometimes, but outside I don't have any music anymore, so I'm just out there chilling, right? And like Ray said, it's not like I'm dying. I'm not gonna lie. Before, because I listened to music so much and I like music a lot, I would always think in my head if I didn't have my music, it'd be over, right? But I was fine. I've been fine these past few days, and I'm saving up. I want to get like some beats or something maybe soon. So
You heard about that music? They call it music detox. For basically, if you take a break from listening to music, it's actually
I heard people
beneficial.
talk about that. Never did it.
Yeah.
Now I guess
now you were forced to, so you'll get to know what it's like.
It's like God. I always look at it like that. I feel like God gives you opportunities to prove yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, my week has been pretty all right. Like I've been my routine so far. I've been hitting it almost completely every single day.
Nice.
There are a few days where, the other day was crazy. Like, so the other day I fucked up, and it was completely. It wasn't like I don't know why I did this, bro. Like I woke up and I was trying to do some work for the channel, right? I'm trying to do it, and then like I'm supposed to be out the house by at least 6:40 something. I looked down at the time at 6:20. I was like, okay, you're bugging, bro. You're bugging. I was like, you gotta. So I get up, I start trying to get ready, realize I didn't eat breakfast, make some breakfast, step out of the house, it's already like 7:05, right? And then, man, that shit set me off so far. I'm supposed to be so bit like, I gotta go get this kid. Usually when I go to get this kid, I reach around 7:20, 7:30, and the walk doesn't take me very long. So I get to the house by at least, if I stretch the walk out, like let's say I get there like 7:26 or something. If I stretch the walk, like I walk as slow as I can, I'll get there at like 7:43 or something. But usually I try to get there at 7:30 because I know the 10 minutes is enough. And I'll get there at like 7:40 or something, and I'll wait until the bus comes, and that'll arrive around like 8. So yeah, I'm standing there for like 20 minutes, right? But it's just I like having that extra time. This time, bro, I get there, it's like 7:53, and the bus comes at like 8. I was like, okay, we gotta run. And I start booking, get a call on my phone, I answer it, I'm lying to the woman, telling her that I'm down the block. And like I'm lying, but not really lying, because like for me, I know I'm gonna scrape past these blocks at light speed. I know it's easy.
Yeah,
right?
you got you're talking an adjustment to the time frame you're working on.
Exactly. So like I
Gotcha.
tell her I'm gonna be there in 3 minutes, right? and then I'm booking, and then I come. The bus is already leaving his house, but I see them. So I'm like, I go like this, and then they see me. They open the door and like, okay, we'll come around. I'm like, all right, cool. Run to the kid's house, open the door, the bus comes around. But the funniest part of that story is I told her I was gonna reach in 3 minutes. I didn't reach there in 3, but I reached in 4. And I ran
Oh
all
wow.
these blocks and got there in 4 minutes.
Damn. I would at least waited 2 for a kid, you know, like
Yeah.
1 minute wait time. She probably knew you were lying. You know, she probably knew you were lying.
Yeah, I think she figured it out. But like the thing that saved me was because I know there's like a Dunkin' Donuts on my way there. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, where are you?" She called back like, "Where are you? Where are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm by the Dunkin' Donuts. I'm by the Dunkin' Donuts." Because I see the Dunkin' Donuts coming up. So I'm like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm passing the Dunkin' Donuts. I'm passing the Dunkin' Donuts." And I'm like, booking. But man, that was crazy. I was like, never letting that shit happen again.
Yeah, you
Because
gotta
man,
be on
The
time next
discipline,
time.
man. The discipline. It
yeah. But
affects
it's
everything.
crazy how it's not even like I was doing some stupid shit slacking. It was just that I guess my priorities were out of whack. I was so focused on the one thing that I forgot what I should be
Yeah,
doing.
when I get caught up in work, it's the same thing. Like if I'm just typing, I'll be typing for like 2, 3 hours. And I'll
Mm.
just be like, "Oh, where'd the time go? I'm supposed to go to the gym. I'm supposed to do this. Gotta go here." I think it's normal when you get caught up in work, you're not so worried about the time as much as you are being productive, and as a result, you mess up.
I guess we can start there actually. That's what, when did you would you say you first started writing?
When did I first start writing? Maybe about I want to say 2 years ago. I started writing.
Mm. And what
I've
are
always been the type to just like write fucking essays and like discords and stuff, drop like knowledge bombs on
yeah,
people.
we have a lot of those.
Yeah, then I ended up just like, okay, you know, if I want to write so much, I gotta start using my imagination, using my head, and writing what I want to write on my private time and keeping it for myself.
Yeah.
Because worst case, my children will read it. You know, like that's the thing about writing. Like it really never goes
It's
to
permanent.
waste. Yeah,
It's
you put
permanent.
the ideas out there, you wrote it up, you have it saved, and someone, something, somewhere can always refer to it, even if you just go back and read it yourself.
Yeah.
Even when you leave this earth, it'll still be around if
Yeah,
anybody wants to check it out. You
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've been writing since I was a kid. I've always been doing this. Well, it started with me telling people stories. That's something I used to do when I was a little kid. Like, you know how we're out here approaching women? When I was a
Hmm.
kid, I would approach people and ask them if they want to hear a story. I'd do that to
Yeah, yeah.
random people. And sometimes, most of the time, they would say yes, but there were a few times people would be like, nah, and like treat me like shit. And I'll just move on
Nah,
to the next person.
if they don't like you, they're always gonna treat you like that. Like,
Yeah.
you
I
should
just,
never feel bad when people are dismissive of you. It just means,
yeah,
oh
oh,
well, this
man.
person doesn't like me.
Exactly. When I was a kid, it didn't care. It didn't really bother me. I'll just move on to the next. Like, oh, time to go ask the next person they want to hear a story. I
When
was
I was
obsessed with it.
I would
Yeah.
say when I was young, those things used to bother me a lot. Like, damn, why
Yeah.
doesn't this person like me?
Oh yeah,
Why are they not my friend?
yeah.
Then I
And
grew
I
up, and
Nah, I was gonna say what you're touching upon. That brings me to the question that I have for you, which is, where did that come from? Like,
not
if
caring.
yeah, the not caring, the shift
You're
from
not
like
giving a fuck. The thing you're
caring
talking
about people's
about.
opinions. Yeah, because we there was an episode that we did prior to this one where we were giving the audience just a little bit of a description of you, because somebody asked in the chat like, man, who is Rep? Like, how would you describe him? And that was one of the things that we all commonly said about you, is that you have the mentality of not really caring what other people think. You go out and be yourself. So where was the turning point for you in that? Like, when did that start?
I would say it started probably around like 16, 17 years old. I was
Mm,
bullied in school. Got jumped. Bunch of different things happened in school. Just bad stuff. I had a bad time in school, and I realized the number one reason I was having a bad time in school was because I was trying to appease everyone. I was just trying to make sure that they were happy with me. I was trying to be friendly, kind, sweet. I was just trying to be everything I felt you should be towards people. And when I got caught up in that, you stop having fun, you stop saying what you want to do, and you stop saying what you want to say. So eventually, I just changed it. I used to tell my friends what I wanted to say, but I knew if I explained it to someone else, they'd think I was insane. Now,
yeah.
granted, they actually did try to like throw me in like therapy and all that nonsense as a kid, but I never thought I was wrong for feeling or thinking a certain way. I never saw the fault in myself. And once I
Mm.
realized that I never see the fault in myself, so why would am I letting people fault me? And then
Yeah.
from there, I just kind of developed into realizing, hey, I got one life. I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. And tomorrow's a new day. They're either going to forget or forgive me.
And you've been a god ever since. You've been a god.
Yeah, I would say, I've
Wait,
been doing my own thing ever
you
since.
calling other man God? Fire for that. Fire for that.
Hey, there's multiple gods, right? You study mythology,
Right?
they got tons of them.
Yeah.
But
Nothing wrong with calling someone God, kings,
yeah, I went
etc.
through that same thing you were mentioning, where like as a kid, I was always a very headstrong kid. I was like, Tommy, that little nigga from the Rugrats, not
Yeah, yeah,
Tommy,
yeah.
the other one. What's his name? The leader? Oh, it was
It was
Tommy.
Tommy.
There we go.
Tommy's
Yeah,
the leader,
Tommy,
yeah.
yeah.
Tommy
I was
Pickles.
I was thinking for a second I might have said Chucky's name instead, but Tommy. I was like him. I was very imaginative and very creative. So like I was always the leader in any like social thing. Like as a kid, I was always the one leading us on the adventures, creating the scenarios.
Mhm.
And like as I got a little older, like Ref said, I encountered people who would try to make me feel like shit for being who I was. And it affects you. I like slid into myself. I started keeping to myself a lot. I didn't have any friends when I was that young, and all my friends were like adults. So like I would literally like, I was around myself so often. I got into the habit of talking to myself. So I'd literally sit there talking to myself as if there was another person there. People used to think back when I was a kid, they used to think something was wrong with me. They thought I was crazy.
I do
And
the same thing.
that's what I
I think
did.
I think it's good to talk to yourself, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I still do that to this day, just
Yeah, yeah.
not as like back then. I used to do it wherever. Like I would just start
Did you
talking.
did you respond to yourself?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, of course.
I mean, you
you
can't
should.
have a
Myself.
conversation if no one's responding, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's
like
a
you have to
conversation
respond
for
to
you
yourself.
versus the
Like,
last sentence you said.
Yeah, you can do that. I do it in my head all the time. Sometimes
Yeah.
I do it out loud. You have dialogues. You just go back and
that's how you
forth.
figure
Like
shit out. You know, you just sitting there. It's like,
yeah,
well, if I do this, nah, it don't make no sense. I can't be doing that. I'm stupid.
Mhm.
Come on. You know, you just have a little quick chat.
You
exactly.
ever get trapped in that head scenario where you're just thinking you're playing out all the
Yeah.
possible outcomes in your head
Yep.
for no reason
Yep.
of something that
Yep.
hasn't even happened yet?
Bro, sometimes you
Yep.
get there and then you just have to like stop. You're like, wait. And you just gotta go. Just like, fuck it. Just go.
Hmm.
Yeah. When you get in that dilemma where it's like it's just going on and on, then the next step is action. You just got to do it. Just be like, okay,
Mhm.
whatever. Devil may cry, and just just do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know? But yeah, I mean, it took me a while. Like in high school, what ended up happening is I went the absolute other direction. I started trying to do absurdity on purpose, like
Hmm.
trying to get reactions out of people because I thought that shit was funny. And now I've kind of like mellowed out and gone back to being a normal person again. Now I do what I want, like because both ways you're weak. If you're doing things because you're scared of what people are gonna think, it's weak. And if you're doing things specifically to get specific reactions out of people and you want to be noticed, you're still weak. Like both
I agree.
ways, you're weak and dependent on people around you.
Yeah, it definitely takes fault from
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
when your actions are decided, you're right, completely right about that. When your actions are decided by what somebody else thinks of you, yeah. But when you completely come to that decision on your own, like I'm just gonna do everything on like based off of how I would operate and not what someone else would think of that, then that's where you really empower yourself.
You also seem to make the best decisions when you do that. The less you care
Yeah.
about what people think about what you do, the more you're going to do for yourself and have for yourself.
yeah.
No, Rome's not built in a day. You're gonna make
Mm.
mistakes. But if you know what you're going for, you end up with your own little kingdom. See, I don't understand the obsession of like luxury brands and stuff that a lot of people have, because the reality is, do you like it because they sold it to you, or do you like it because you like it?
They
Mm.
like it because they
And there's
sold it
only
to you.
really
Like,
what'd you say, Ray?
they like it because it's a luxury brand. Like, bro, that's
Right.
my like mom. She'll buy anything that got a name brand on it. It don't matter what it is and what it looks like.
Easy
If it got
slides.
that name, bro, if it got a name on it, she'll get it, bro. And if it
Wait,
doesn't have a name, she'll just look down on it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Yeezy slides, I saw some nigga wearing them in real life the other day. I was on the train. I was like, Jesus
Them
Christ.
shits is ugly, right?
Yeah, did they grow on you yet?
No,
The
they're
Yeezy
ugly,
slide?
bro.
Nah.
Like they're not cute.
Emilio, keep going. And then Ray, go get the slides and show Emilio show Ref what they
You
look
guys
like.
got the slide? Nice.
Well, yeah, what were you saying? What were you about to say, Ref?
So if you're buying things only because of name brands or because the luxury status attached to them,
These
you're gonna eventually
chunky
dislike
ass
it.
shoes, bro.
Oh yeah, those are. I mean, I guess they're okay, but it looks like something I could get for $5. You know, like this is the truth about the world. If you actually go shopping, you realize sometimes you look at these things and this is like, yo, this T-shirt I could get for 10.
Big
It looks
piece of
pretty much
rubber.
the
Let me
same.
look up how much they cost.
Yo, it's funny you mentioned that.
Because
Let me see if I
remember
can-
that we live in such a world based on status. I'm gonna drop some heat for you. That people are buying fake bags at a premium to get the status of the real bag because they can't afford it. So they pay a premium on the fake bag that looks closer.
Wearing chains that turn their neck green. Talk to him, bro.
Yeah,
Bro.
got the
Mhm.
copper that shit,
These
you know?
slides is like $100.
Exactly. And they look like something you could get for 10.
Bro, I can go to the Chinese spot right now and get the same thing, bro.
Exactly. Yeah,
look
yeah,
like-
yeah.
They look like toy slippers. They don't even look like.
Mhm.
How
They
they
look like a
Yo,
cartoon character.
this
Away.
is that shit you put on your Barbie.
It looked like something like an old grandpa in a cartoon would wear.
But I was gonna say earlier today, I was scrolling through Instagram, right? And I see this fucking the goofiest thing I've ever seen in my life. I literally think this is the goofiest thing. It was like a Pooh Shiesty kind of mask, right? One of
Ski
those
mask.
things. But it had like these weird like frizz things on it.
Yeah,
and,
they
like,
were frayed. It was frayed all over.
Yeah, like these weird phrases on it. I was like, oh, the distressed Shiesty. And I was like, that is fucking retarded. I was like, man.
And yet someone would buy it
I was like, idiots are gonna come out here and buy this shit for real too. Like this
and
is
wear it.
ridiculous.
They would
Yeah,
definitely wear it outside, bro.
So
you're
isn't
spending
it,
money to wear a fucking rug on your face. Like, what's going on?
you know why they call it brands, right? Think what is a brand?
It's a mark that you put on a person to show that
Exactly.
you
So
own
like
them.
if the only things you brand are farm animals and cattle.
Yeah,
So if you are fully submitted to like luxury brands and having things for social status, you're basically just another cow on the farm who's all trying to do the same thing.
And you giving them free promo. Like they're not even paying you the
Free
way they
promo.
should.
Yeah,
You're-
free
you're
promo,
essentially-
free advertisement.
you're
You gotta picture yourself like a walking billboard.
yeah. You're
And
essentially
once you realize you're a
slave.
walking billboard, you're not really worrying about the message as long as the message is you.
Yeah. You're pretty much a slave to these corporations. That's why you're branded. Because
Yeah,
like
you
they
sell out
brand
to them.
slaves back in the day. So like
Mhm.
you're a slave to these corporations. You're there, like you said, to advertise for them, to
Right.
give them your money.
Right.
Like you're buying shit you don't even care about. Like half these things
Yeah.
you know they don't actually
Yeah,
like.
impress the people you don't like.
And sometimes some people they buy a $1,000 shirt, they can't wear it all the time. It's not
Yeah.
something you could throw on 2-3 times a week. You gotta protect
Yeah.
it because you gotta protect your investment.
Investment.
Yeah.
You
Bro,
know, like
the
if
second you buy
if
that
you're buying
$1,000
fashion,
shirt, it's not $1,000 no more, bro.
yeah. But that's the thing. So you gotta protect that investment. You gotta make sure that shirt lasts
Justify it.
$1,000 worth of it. You know.
See, but also if you wear it more than once, people gonna be like, "Oh, you wearing the same thing? You wearing the same fit?"
Yeah, right.
So you can't even be rocking the same shit over and over again. So you spend $1,000 on a shirt, you can wear what, 5
closest I-
times,
Yeah.
like
The
over
closest
a
I
course
have-
of a year.
And then let's say you drinking some fine wine, you spill on it, it's over. That shirt's worth nothing now. You can't even resell it.
Oh,
Let's go straight to the thrift store.
Yeah. I mean, the closest I have to that is when I bought that comic from the boy Eric July, the I Saw Him comic. I read it twice and I never opened it again. I
Well,
was
that's
like,
it's
we're
a
gonna leave it.
comic. It's gonna maintain its value at least.
Exactly. So I was like, we're not gonna open this again. We're gonna leave it. I was like, we're gonna
Gucci's
leave
still
it
gonna
alone.
be making Gucci. Prada's still gonna be making Prada.
Yeah,
And
'cause
there's
this
gonna
is
be a
an
new
issue
product to
one.
buy.
This is an issue one. Who knows? I might, if other niggas lose their shit, I might be one of the only niggas who hasn't. You know?
Yeah. So it's an investment at that point. You can protect it.
Yeah,
I think and either way the comic it resonates with you, right?
it does. I enjoyed
So
it a
it's
lot.
not if you're someone rocking designers because the designer brands just happen to resonate with you,
Actually,
you're better off.
you're making a very good point because I
Yeah.
remember me, EJ, and we were talking about this, and Ray too. where I remember you were pointing where I was saying I don't usually wear like superhero comics for these big corporations. Like I don't wear Superman shirts, none of that shit. But because ISOM was like a result of a smaller creator who I really supported, in order to show my support to him and his growing operation, I made sure to wear that fucking shirt anywhere I could wear it. So and the first day I wore that shit too, people kept asking me, "Oh, what's that shirt?" And I would tell them every time I was doing free fucking
Free
promo work
advertising,
for
yeah.
him. Because I
Speaking
really
of that,
wanted.
I actually
But you a fan though, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You a
I'm
fan.
actually wearing a shirt from well, it was a small webcomic when I bought it. It was a Homestuck shirt when I was in like college because that's when it was popular.
All Homestuck.
It was like the
yeah.
first thing I bought, like the first merch I bought from anybody. Like I didn't have any anime shit, no comic shit, but I was just like, I fuck with this comic enough that I will buy this person's merch because I just
I'll
want
tell
them to
you,
keep making it.
I do like merch, and I'm seeing a lot of the anime shirts come back and stuff.
Bro,
So people I think,
don't buy none of that shit. It's all garbage.
I know the quality of the clothing
Oh,
are probably
actually,
like garbage
let me
and
show you
stuff.
guys something. Let me show you guys something.
Keep
real quick.
going, Ref.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, people are being more self-expressive in their fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that comes from being more in tune with yourself and less about like social aspects of
Dope,
Sad
dope.
Death Note. We got Death Note.
Death Note poster.
You gonna hang that
Dope.
up or save it?
Yeah, that's the plan.
I was thinking about tricking out my gym with like pin-up girls of just various girls I meet and just be a clown. But
That's
I
good
think I
motivation.
realized like let me just keep the dungeon, you know. But that would be like classic 1980s, 1990s gym ordeal.
Make it like some like you said, some classic shit. Like none of these current horrors. Like make it,
Yeah,
make it
I want the shorty to be fully clothed in the picture.
yeah,
you
make
know?
it like
Nah,
some
y'all been to my crib, right?
yeah, he has a girl on his phone.
No,
Mine's
no,
just
it's
mine's just tasteful. Tasteful.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
tasteful.
You
That's
got
it.
that's the thing. It's still art.
Remember I made that point the first time I saw it. I was like,
Yeah.
it's tasteful.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
my
It's
uncle, bro, my uncle's shit was not tasteful. This man
That's
used
what I
to
was
have,
going for. You know what I'm
this
saying?
man used to have he had a calendar and it was just like Bati, just pure came down, bro. And I was like, yo, yo, he
you
had
know, I thought of speaking of like pickup girls, I thought about going to like a adult convention and going there and just teaching people the dangers of like pornography.
that sounds
You wouldn't be you wouldn't
Like
be the only
I
one
think
there
I would
doing
get
that.
kicked out.
Nah, you wouldn't be the only one doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people do
yeah.
it.
I don't think I'd be alone in that venture.
No, but Ref, please do that so we can come along with you and record it. That
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be
yeah.
fucking hilarious.
It would be dope content. But you know,
Yeah.
But
I think
we're-
even like
we
if
should-
you notice the like big time content creators today, what are they really doing? Like they're going around, they're asking people simple, stupid questions, and they're all asking the same questions.
we had our little phase like that. Except our questions weren't simple. See, that's the thing. Other people said they were very too deep, too philosophical, but one girl
Mhm.
was claiming that they weren't deep enough. And I was like, bitch, what?
She just liked you, and she liked what you was doing.
Maybe.
I'm telling you the truth.
Look, man, it was weird because, like, as Vanguard said, some people was like, "Yo, why you got me thinking, bro?" And we were just like,
Someone's calling. 1 second.
shit, I don't
You
even
can
remember.
continue. You can continue.
I don't even remember what questions we were doing. You remember?
Hello?
They weren't that deep. They required a little bit of like forethought and thinking, but they weren't that deep. You know? But yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I don't like because I do think a lot of time we talk to those girls, um, I think they would feel like they liked me, just how they were talking to me, and it would be very weird.
Mhm.
But when we had Saeed doing it, the reason why it made me uncomfortable was because they were often so much younger than me. So when they're talking to me and looking me like straight in the eyes, because it's all in the eyes, man. When you're looking someone in the eyes, you can tell whether or not they want you to jump their
eyes are the
phone.
windows to the soul, right?
Exactly. So as you're talking to this girl and she's clearly underage and she's looking at you in this certain way, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I want to have this conversation. I don't know if I want to do
Don't
this.
say it like that.
I know. But I'm not saying I wanted it. I'm just saying
they were all 18 at least, bro.
yeah, they're all that,
Yeah.
but still, they were too young for my taste, you know?
Man, let's not have people starting to think certain things.
Yeah,
To
no,
develop
don't worry,
these notions.
we're not groomers. You don't have to worry. We're not groomers. We're not groomers here. Yeah, we're not part of the groomer community.
But anyway, we should go back outside and do that
Yeah.
when it get warm.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe,
What-
but I want to do it differently the next time we do it. I want to actually walk around and do it instead of going to a specific area.
Well, I already thought about how to do that, so we can work on it.
Yeah.
So more on the way, huh?
Get a
More on the way.
vest. Don't worry, we'll lay it down on how to accomplish that goal. Let us know in the comments if you want to see more stupid interviews.
But Raph, real quick before you
Oh,
took that
he's
call, you were saying
It's gonna
that
call.
you were going you were saying that you wanted to do the what was it, Comic-Con? You wanted to explain the dangers of pornography?
No, not
Adult,
is-
the
Comic-Con.
adult cons. Yeah, the adult cons that are
The adult
specifically
cons.
designed
Oh,
for
I was
that.
about to say
That'd be
Comic-Con.
cool.
There's
You
a
should
Even
go
no,
to
honestly,
Comic-Con.
doing it at Comic Con would be good too. Actually,
That
Yeah,
too,
most
yeah, that
people.
too.
We should have. We should
To
do
the
it.
hats on some of them probably.
No.
do
What
it.
it is most
Do it
people
at
at
the-
those comic books, they're on the internet, so they're
Yeah.
hooked on it.
Yeah,
I-
do it
I
at
was
the
gonna-
Expo. Do it at the
I-
Comic Con, and do it at like that Anime Con. There's 3
Yeah.
times.
don't Anime Con and Comic Con are basically the same thing. There's no point in doing
Yeah.
both.
Okay, which one do you guys think would be better?
Anime.
Comic-Con's probably easier.
Comic-Con's dead, bro. Dead. No one going to
All
that
right,
shit.
so we'll
bro.
go the anime con, but these anime people,
They're feral.
yeah, I'm down to
They're
talk to some weebs.
feral,
I'm
bro.
with it. I'm with it. Yeah, we could talk to some weebs. They're always cool.
Feral,
That
Yeah,
should
we
be.
right?
And each time we do it, we gotta wear like fucking like preachers uniforms. We gotta find preachers uniforms.
Why don't we just
remember-
cosplay as some like priest from the anime too, and just fit in low key, and then we'll just drop like heat on them. Like we'll be like a trap lay, all cosplayed up.
You know, like
Yo,
those
hey kid, like we'll just be, hey kid, want to talk about the dangers of internet adult content?
You know those what do you call it? Those monk robes.
Mhm.
We could wear the monk robes and walk around with like rosary beads. That would be so.
At that point, they're gonna think we're doing that Buddhist scam thing, you know?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. We would
God.
have to. We would have to be official.
We could put on a suit. We could put on a shirt and a tie like the fucking Mormons and the black pants. Walk around.
I was gonna say though, Amelia, what was your argument on that? You don't have to go too into detail, but as to why, as to why you find it to be dangerous, for adolescents or anybody really, anybody that
I definitely want to start with the insecurity part because remember, you're watching someone engage in something you want to do. That's ultimately what you're doing. You can't do it, so you watch them do it, and then you go on to have real experience where you always have that image in the back of the head that they did it better. It was more exciting. It was better for them. So it's specifically designed to breed insecurity. And if you notice, there's no real like deep connection in any of the content, but that's not reality. Like a girlfriend and boyfriend who do it for a long time, they have conversations and there's something building out of the experience. And the reward is you spill seed, you're now depleted of energy and you're just kind of sitting there wondering what you did. And there's always a natural shame in the action. Like when people start this as a kid or they grow on to do it, there's an innate shame of after you're done. They call it post nut clarity, but it's also a semblance of guilt because now the pleasure's not going to be there no more. Now you realize what you did. You went out fighting. You went out to a monitor. Like you had no one else with you. You locked yourself in a room and you go out to a monitor. Like if you try to picture you're watching yourself do that thing from third person, you're never gonna want to picture yourself watching that from third person. Like I don't know. I have a feeling this also ties into it. It's a little bit off topic, but if you're doing something, you could picture exactly how you look doing it in third person, as if you're looking from above, right?
Yeah.
Very simple mental task. I have a theory that if people did that more, they would not want to be doing that because now it's almost like someone's watching. No one's going to be in a room full of people consuming this content and doing the thing unless they were all doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you're
I
actually
don't know,
touching
man.
on
Some
a
people are
stoic-
kind of sick. They get off on that image.
Right.
touching on a stoic. There's a stoic principle where, in order to keep yourself on the straight and narrow, you imagine as if it's like a thought experiment. You imagine as if your future self is looking down and like what he would think. What this
Mhm.
idolized version of you would think, seeing you do whatever it is that you're thinking of doing. And if you would disapprove, you don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Vanguard has brought up before in the past, and I know you're an advocate for this too about the No Nut November and
Yeah.
semen
I'm
retention
the
and all that.
champion of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was just asking you about your take on pornography and you know just addiction in general with that. Like how people could lose themselves.
He's completely
Yeah.
not wrong. It fucking sits there. It fucking reshapes your brain. Because
Yeah.
back when I used to do that shit, right? To show you that shit fucks up your head and fucks up all the natural processes inside you. When I would have sex, right? Like he said, it'd be hard to get off on just the act itself. I'd have to now start imagining something in my head just so I can actually bust in this woman.
Yeah. In that case, you're highly ruined, man.
You're
Yeah.
sick. You
That's
need
high level of
help.
ruining.
No, it's because
Yeah.
I'm a very
That's a real problem.
not because my problem is I'm a very visual person. Like I see things in my head, right?
Hmm.
So something like that is dangerous, especially for a person like me, because everything I see gets cataloged in my brain, and it will just sit there. Like I'll have to this day there are things in my head that I think of. I don't know where they came from, but I know I must have seen it somewhere or seen something, and it'll morph into something else. Like this is how my brain works. It sees something and it runs with it. So
Hmm.
I literally had to accept that I'm just not my brain is not built to handle that much exposure to something like that.
Yeah. To
Beyond
How
change
do you?
that,
topics a little bit, I actually have it's a weird theory, but I have a feeling that people who are obsessed with like videoing themselves, taking pictures all the time, you notice there's some people wherever they go, if they like it, they can't help but take a picture of it. Or if they
Yeah.
like it, they can't help record or get something right. Now, I'm cool with the flicks, I'm cool with all that, but I think there's something innate about that constant behavior where for
Mm,
example, the like 25, 24-year-old who always is posting everything they do to their story, right? Take that as an example. Everything they do goes on their story. They have to do it. I think it's because they can't really picture themselves in third person doing it. So they have no observer and the human need to like kind of be observed, watched, monitored. They have to go to the internet to get it. It's their only source because they can't manifest in their head, whether it be because maybe they're godless, they don't believe in like a higher power watching, or their brain is just incapable of that level of processing.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they're stuck on what somebody else is thinking of it. Like, oh, like let me show people that I'm in the most popping spot in the area, or like
Hmm.
trying to keep up with people, like letting the people know like this is what I'm doing. And
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though like the wall huggers, we talked about it off stream before we went on.
You know,
That
they were having a blast every time the phone came out, and then when the
yeah,
phone went away,
they're
conversation
in
changed,
reality.
energy
They're in reality.
changed.
yeah,
It,
yeah. You literally see it. They'll be hugging the wall. Phone comes out, and they go
yeah,
back to
yeah.
the wall.
And that's the thing. If you're doing that, like, what are you attempting to accomplish? Because you
So
could be having that same good time all the way through, but you're just gonna have these burst moments where you have to stunt online, pretty much.
I
So I
was I
don't
was
know if
gonna
it's
ask like how do you stop that? Like what is your advice to someone that constantly gets stuck in that behavior? Like how do they change that? That like
ban
not
yourself from
constantly
recording
feeling.
yourself.
Do they get
I
off
think that's
social
the only
media
way.
completely? Do they just not take their phone out?
Either
Like
you get off social media completely, you limit it to once a week, or you stop pulling your phone out. I
or don't
think the
bring their phone
easiest.
with them? Nah, you gotta have your phone with you.
I think you gotta
Gotta
have
have
a phone, but you get a
it.
little beater or something where you could just get
Put,
numbers.
put that shit on airplane mode.
Yeah, I think it's very dangerous if you have to if you're only having fun or you're only in a spot to record the fact that you've been there. There's no way you're enjoying anything the spot has to offer. You're enjoying the likes, the views, the comments more than you're enjoying the moment. And if you get to that point where the comments, likes, and views are more important than the moment and being there, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You're wasting time, money, you're wasting a lot of things because these places cost money. People they may get you in for free, but you're not gonna be popping unless you have a drink in your hand.
Mhm.
So you're gonna buy a drink. So
Yeah,
you're
it's
spending
actually
money for an image that you don't have, and now you're bleeding money that could help you get the image you want. Because what I've realized is most of the people who do that whole like record thing, get it on media for clout, they're trying to live like the big ballers on Instagram. They want to be the top profile. They want everyone to be watching them.
Yeah.
They want to be like all these rich guys with their sports cars and everything else. They don't. Their internet presence is never organically them.
yeah.
It's never their accomplishments, it's never what they did, it's always going to be
And it goes back to what you were saying earlier about the identity part, like
yeah,
really knowing yourself.
It's
Because
also
even when we went to like when me, Vanguard and Ray, when we went to Miami, like I'm
mhm,
still like really not on social media. And
yeah, yeah,
I was capturing that trip. Like,
yeah,
we were
yeah,
taking pictures, we were having a good time. But
yeah,
was I doing it to show somebody? Was I doing it to send it to somebody? No, I was doing it to capture the moment. And
right,
when I have some downtime and I scroll through my camera roll, I was like, oh yeah, I was there. But I'm not
mhm,
doing it for anyone aside from myself.
yeah,
Aside from
Miami's
who,
fun.
yeah,
There's no way you were on your phone more than the fun you had, and there's no
definitely.
way what you put on your phone from Miami is gonna top the experience. Miami was a blast, right?
Yep.
yeah,
So
100%.
if what you put on the internet based on the experience is topping the actual experience, I think that's when you have a serious problem.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of guys who have such a heavy connection to the internet, um, what do you think of these guys who get dating advice from like internet accounts and like internet gurus and shit?
That man's is
I'll tell
goofy,
you,
bro.
Mm.
Know how to
I
kick
think
That was
real
a
game. This
statement.
the man that know how to kick real game. So,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
get
So here's the
his
thing.
take.
They sell you a universal rubric that they claim will work for you.
Woo.
Right? It's a universal rubric. They don't know what you look like. They don't know how much money you have. They don't even know what your career, your trades, and your hobbies are.
Did
They
I
know
not
none of
say that?
that.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
They know none of it. So they spit you this universal rubric that works. It's going to work for you because it worked for them, but you're not them. So
And
they make the
You're
rubric
not dumb. You're not
universal.
dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
that's
So they have to phrase the rubric as universal to make
yeah.
sure you watch it and you say, "Oh yeah, that worked for me. Oh yeah, that worked
That's
for me."
that's
Thank
if the
you. Thank you, Rev. Thank you.
Yeah.
that's if the Rubik is real at all. Yeah.
But that's the thing. The rubric is not real, but they need you to believe that it works. So you start following the rubric because now it's stuck in your head, and then it works for you once or twice, and you feel like the rubric has been validated.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
broken clocks right twice a day, right?
That's the
So
other
you can
thing right
be,
there, though.
yeah,
Like they will only post like the shots that sink. Like you don't know how many times they got striked out on these dating
yeah.
apps. They're like, "Yo, watch! Look how easy this conversation was with this baddie on Tinder." And it's like, okay,
Hmm.
but how many times did they not reply to you? How many
Yeah.
times did they
They won't
like?
show you the
They didn't.
failures.
Yeah, like who knows how many times they
Sometimes they do
striked
get
out.
exposed. A lot of
Hmm.
those pickup artists do be getting exposed actually. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they get exposed all the time.
Plus, like, the rubric they're splitting, what are they really looking for when they're selling you these ideas, right? They're making money off of passing this to you. Don't forget they're getting views, they're getting subscriptions. You're
Yep.
They're
subscribed to
getting,
their little club that's
they're
going to
getting
teach you all
yeah,
the game.
they're
They're
getting
selling financial advice now. They're internet gurus. Like you go to them under the guise that they're going to teach you things, but you can probably learn more reading a book by yourself.
Also,
yeah.
they never show you what these
And
so-called baddies look like.
they
Not
never show you
well,
the
that's the
girls, and if they show you the girls, best believe that girl is bought and paid for it. You follow the
yep,
girl, she has a whole
yep,
following, she
yep,
has a whole Instagram, she's popping on social media. She was likely bought and paid for, and she's likely on there to boost her clout.
yeah. But the thing, right? So, wait, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I almost forgot. But these kids, like I was talking to this girl at work about this. I had her dying. I was like, we were talking about this in the last episode. So I was like, I was watching this one video where this guy was giving game, right? And I
Mhm.
found this shit so funny. Dude is like 6 feet tall. He got like blonde, wavy hair. He's got these blue eyes. Has like a fucking chin on him, like a real chin.
Yeah, you got the
And
Giga
like
Chad shit.
yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about the audience. You're looking at the audience, and it's just like a bunch of guys, just like I'm like, you guys, if you guys think that this guy's advice is gonna help you, and you're out here sitting like this, um, you struck out before you even
Yeah.
began. Like, if you
The
walk up to
only The
like
only good
this.
advice I hear from them, the only good advice that they can ever give you is to know yourself. And they tie in there loosely. They tell you, oh, become the best version of you,
Yeah.
but they'll sell you the workout, the fitness, the
Mhm.
money making strategies, but
Contradictory.
that might not be
Yeah.
the best version of you. There's
Yeah.
homeless people who get more chicks than you because they're more in tune
Mm.
with themselves.
Yeah.
If
They
you
actually go to
lose yourself and you're trying to talk to a woman compliments the man.
that.
So if she's your partner, she's any woman who's going to have any involvement, you have to know yourself to attract her. You have to know
Yeah.
yourself to get her. And that's the only real advice I find. The only real advice that ever worked for me is just do and say as you are and be who you are at the moment.
Yeah.
And
I
whatever
mean,
happens, happens.
that's like I mean, I did take my sabbatical and then had to relearn, had to go through the baby steps again. But I remember when Saeed would ask me, and whenever I was doing with Saeed, he's like, "Oh, what do you say? What do you usually say?" And it was just like, I was like, I don't know, man. I just kind of, it's like I never really think
You don't
about
got
it.
a script.
I,
You just walk up to them and say
yeah, then I
Yeah.
something. Say
Yeah,
say
yeah,
what
yeah.
something.
comes to my mind.
And we've all had the pleasure of looking foolish for saying what's on our mind and being ourselves, and that comes with it. But being okay
Yeah.
with that, being
Yeah,
okay
yeah.
with that.
Rejection, I think rejection should never hurt you. Rejection saves time, saves money. It saves your seed too. Like you really can't lose if someone says no to you. Right?
Hmm.
Like what did you lose? You weren't going to get in the first place. Nothing was going to happen. If they say no, okay, cool, on to the next. Like you can do something else with your time.
Yeah,
When
Rejection's
you're
a blessing.
yeah,
And if
when
you're
you're
gonna
comfortable with that, yep.
yeah, if you're gonna be upset at rejection, you're upset at someone who saved you the time. Because the worst thing you can do is try to appease someone who already wants nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
hmm
And if you do something like that, at the end game is misery. There's no way you could be happy appeasing people who don't even want to be with you. And let's say you followed the rubric, you got rich, you got the sports car, you got all the money, you got everything, and you still don't know yourself. You're gonna every woman who you're around, you're gonna be miserable because you have to put up something you're not. You can't be yourself around her. What's the
yeah,
point of being around a woman if you can't be yourself? What's the point around being around your boys or friends if you can't be yourself?
Mm.
Like, there's a lot of people that'll hang out in social circles where their whole persona is fake.
yeah,
And they do that just for the acceptance because they know had they really been unrestricted, had they been unchained of as a person and just been themselves, these friends wouldn't like them.
hmm
And how does someone get to know themselves? I would say they got to fix the holes that's in their life, the places that they're not strong in. Like, what we were saying earlier about caring about other people's opinions. They got to fix that.
exactly.
Be, they got to be not so weighed down by somebody's perception and other areas. If it's about working out and they want to get to a certain, not
Yeah,
saying that that's one thing, but
Hmm.
the things that bother them, the places that they find, just they're not the best versions of themselves in. That's where they should start before they should start thinking about how can I get this woman? How can I get her to
Hmm.
like me? You know?
there's a lot of quiet reflection, a lot of thinking,
Yeah.
and looking at yourself, like inspecting yourself. Like I do that a lot. Like I wrestle with ideas in my head, and I'll be like that's why I'm always saying that if I believe something, if I say something, you can trust that it's at least as close as possible to being correct as it could for me. Because I sat there wrestling with that idea before I decided to believe in it. Like I would think something in my head and I would start challenging it. I'd be like, okay, if you believe this thing, how does it perform against this? How does it perform against this fact? If that's true, why is this? Why is that? And I would keep doing that until I feel like I've refined it. Like that's why even when I argue with people, I never ever take like the easy route or try or argue in bad faith. I always try to argue as like close to honesty and like honestly as I can. Like I remember like when Ray, me and Ray, when we'd argue with a certain person, and he would say something, and there would be personal attacks I could make, things I know about his personal life that directly contradict what's coming out of his mouth. But I never did that. I'd always focus directly on the argument he was making and attack that instead.
Yeah, that's the best
Never.
strategy for arguing. You don't want to be the person arguing what you did was wrong, you know. You want to be the person arguing that the concept and the things you're bringing to the table are wrong. And
Exactly.
I think the best way to improve is to be alone. I think if you're a
Mm.
man, one thing I would recommend if you're a man, try to live alone, try to be alone, or at least Or if you can't be alone, have your own room, have your own
Be alone
space,
with
and make
yourself for some time.
Spend a period of time alone before you
yeah,
decide you want to go run out and go
right,
meet
right.
women. Spend a
And
period.
it comes very based off of like back in the day. Like, was anyone really traveling or going places back in the day? No, they were buckled down, building a house, building your own kingdom. I think the only time you should set foot in other people's worlds or be social in the first place is when you have your own kingdom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or you're at least mostly through the process
That's
of
why
building one.
I feel like that's why a monk, like a monk mode or a monk period, is 100% necessary. Where you choose something and, like you said, you build something. You sit there and build something you can be proud of. It doesn't even have to be anything physical. It could just be a lifestyle that you want to build for yourself.
I'll tell you
Or
the truth, it don't even have to be good. It just has to be
no,
what
Yeah.
you
it just has
wanted
to
to
be
do.
something
You gotta be
it's
proud of it
something you
though.
can look at.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Once you're proud of it, you definitely should be proud of it.
something that you could look at and feel good about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even when I first started making these videos, right? Those first videos I churned out were just some random bullshit that I just sat in front of the computer talking about random shit.
But it was you and it was honest. And as a
Yeah,
result, the
and that's
people
the
who
thing.
liked you liked it.
It felt so
This man looked like a mad scientist. He had his hair popping out like that.
Yeah, yeah.
but
No,
it felt
it was
so
cool.
good.
They were cool videos, because if they knew you, they would know
No,
it.
people liked them a lot because of what you just said, how honest I was being, and I was just admitting
Yeah.
things about myself that I guess they never expected someone to just admit. But yeah, it felt good looking back at it. Like I still sometimes will look back at those first few videos and
Hmm.
feel like a sense of pride. And even when I'm looking at this channel, right, there'll be times when I feel like I'll briefly start to feel like I'm not doing enough or things are not growing
Yeah.
fast enough. Then I look at the amount of videos we've made, and then the swelling feeling of pride starts to come. And I'm like, oh fuck those analytics, fuck those numbers. I don't care. I'm like,
The
Funny
views
because I
are
was looking
fake.
at the analytics today and I was like, nice. It was like
yeah,
what
Yeah,
800 hours of video. I was like, that's a lot.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Looking at all those hours of video we have, and I was thinking like all the individuals, even if they aren't that big, I was like, it's they still took the time out of their day to decide they wanted to subscribe to us. They must have liked what we were doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I really appreciate the subscribers.
Shout out to all of
It's
them.
Shout
all
out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all.
yeah, it's all about the whole point is you're documenting something. Like this is
Yeah.
really like in a way it's a documentary. You're gonna sit there, you're gonna make videos, and they'll never go away. They'll be there. They're great references for anyone who listens to it, and there's nothing inorganic happening here,
And when we old and gray and looking back at this, like,
Yeah.
damn.
When you old and
We
gray, you
probably
think you
wouldn't
two gonna
even
still be here?
probably. I mean, I think the internet's gonna be around
You
for a
two
long
gonna still
time.
be here? You gonna be 70 years old? Like back in YouTube, I was popping, bro.
I'll be 70 and still
You're right.
sliding on mommies in the club. Who knows? You never know. Like, can you imagine grandpa come back to, oh yeah, I was here years
Bro,
ago. You pull
if
out,
you,
can you imagine we go back to like St. Mark's and we 70, we owe that shit. We got pictures of us at St. Mark's 20 years ago. Like, yo, what's up, ma?
bro, you be
Been
mad
here, been
popular. I'm
done
not
this
There's
and
gonna
that.
lie. They'd
fucking
love that
flying
shit.
It'd be
cars.
popping. It'd
There's
be
fucking
good.
flying cars and robots walking around. We're taking pictures of
Yeah,
us.
we got the organic shit. Like, yeah, this is back when this amount was
They gotta
this.
make a movie like that. There gotta be something like that where you know these old men that been a crew for forever go out one time, one last rodeo.
We can
Nah,
make
Tell
that
how
would
much time they
actually be
got
a
left.
crazy
let's do
Right?
it.
movie.
We would be the ones to make that fucking movie. Let's do it.
Now I think you could pitch that to a Hollywood director who
Right?
makes comedy, no problem.
We can make
That's
our
actually genius. They got pictures and
fuck giving
videos.
the idea to a director. We can make that shit ourselves.
How
Bro,
we
you can
gonna
get the
turn old?
funding. You can
Now
get
we
the
gonna
funding.
turn out.
How we gonna turn old, bro? We gonna have to.
Now you get some
All right, in a
prosthetics.
couple years,
The
if we all
makeup,
make it to old age,
the makeup, man.
God
The
willing,
makeup.
The makeup, you're right.
We could
God
find.
willing, we make it there. I
We could
think
find.
that'd be a genius to come out for like 70-year-old glass hurrah,
Yeah,
like the big 7-0. Just
we
try
could
and do
easily.
this.
We could easily find some old extras on the internet to play us. We
Yeah,
could
yeah,
easily.
probably.
Nah, wait. Fuck making it a movie. You could just.
We already got the
I'm saying like
documentary going.
we could just go to a local beauty school, have them make us real old, and just hit the club, bro. Just do that
Yeah.
shit. Just record
That
that.
sounds
I'm down for some
That
grandpa
sounds
slagging. I
hilarious.
think that'd be
That's so hilarious.
Right?
genius.
One last time.
Yeah,
Like
that
back in
just
my
show
day,
up.
this is how we used to do it.
Yeah, just show up like a grandpa.
Yeah, but yeah. What I was gonna say though, is so Emilio, when you're about to go, let's say slide on a family, what goes through your mind as you're about to do it? Like what are
To
the
be honest,
process.
I have a problem. I think I'm the coolest man in the world. I think I'm the smoothest, coolest man in the world. So I walk towards him and I got like boss music playing in my head. Like but it's about to be a boss battle, you know? That's honestly true. Like I don't know. It's not true, but it's not true. But the boss themes start playing in your head. You know, like because you're about to approach someone, like you're risking all. You know, the boss never asked for permission to fight you. In any video game, you think the boss sat there and say, "Hey, yo, let's get it going." When you walk
Right,
into that room,
right.
what happened?
He
What
starts
happened when you opened that door?
he starts
Smoke.
folding you up.
Smoke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man,
So
but
like, it's the same concept. Like, you can't really be worried about. You have to really feel like you're there. They're there. There's nothing they can do about it. So you're gonna do what you want to do, and whatever happens, happens.
Mm.
Like as long as you don't violate someone or disrespect, or
clearly,
you just
clearly.
don't violate the NAP. Don't do anything that violates the non-aggression principle. Be integral, have integrity, but really feel
That's That's another
like
thing I was gonna say, like if because we talk about being ourselves, right? And that's where the self improvement comes in. Because
right, right.
what if someone being themselves is disrespectful? Like that's who they are by nature. That's something that they
It
have to
will work.
fix.
It will work for them.
That's something that they have to find a way to be more polite or be more
I
approachable.
don't know that if they have to. I know it will work for them for what they want to do if they're naturally truly like that. I think once you have integrity, you realize it's kind of wrong to be too mean to people. But
Yeah,
if that's part of your integrity that it doesn't matter if I'm mean to someone, you'd probably be perfectly fine.
Yeah, because not all mean people are truly mean. Like they're just people who are very blunt and very
Mhm.
honest.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they'll come off as mean, but this is how they communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even I'm very blunt. Like there'll be times where I think someone's saying something stupid. And if I'm not thinking, I'm not thinking it might slip out. I might just say that's very dumb. Like I might act like that's
Yeah.
kind of stupid. Yeah.
I
Like
think as
I'll tell
long
you
as you don't violate the like non-aggression principle, like
exactly.
don't
I don't be
snatch people's
aggressive.
phones,
I remember a long
don't
time
be
ago.
angry, don't be combative with people.
Exactly. Like I remember a long time ago, we were out not we. This was when I was in college. Some people were telling me about this was the first time I was learning about these people called otherkin who identify as animals and shit. And I remember they were telling me,
Oh
and
my
my
god.
first word slipped out. It just slipped out because I didn't know how it. I was like, "That's fucking retarded."
Yeah, yeah.
I just said it.
I would definitely not pretend to be an animal. I think you have to really love your body. I'm not for all, they talk body positive till the person don't like their body, and then they got you switching genders. They got you doing a lot of different things. They
Mm,
got you modifying yourself to crazy degrees. You got a guy who froze his hands because he wanted paws.
Mm,
If he had learned to accept the form he was given, he wouldn't really feel that way. So when I look at people from the other king, I'm not really looking at their actions. I'm looking at this is someone who hasn't accepted themselves. And that's from that point, I find their behavior to be silly, bad, and destructive.
yeah.
mm.
Yeah, I don't really view what they're doing. I view the fact that I don't think this person really accepted themselves yet. And
Yeah.
it makes me kind of sad to see. So I
Um,
find
Motivation.
it silly.
I'm gonna tell this story on stream because it's hilarious and it's it involves our beloved rep. Um, so uh, it was an example of what you just said about like noticing someone's behavior and seeing that okay
Oh,
they're not okay with themselves.
I remember this.
Mhm.
So you remember when we was at Ray's Pizzeria and
Yeah.
there was two females. I think they were friends sitting next to each other.
Oh
One of
yeah,
them
yeah.
had
With the
braces.
braces? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. She kept doing this thing where
Yeah,
I don't know,
anytime she was
maybe she recently acquired the braces, but every time she
yeah, yeah.
laughed, she would cover her face like that. And you literally
Yeah.
went up to her and had a conversation like, don't do that. It's not
Yeah, I
attractive.
was just like, yo, like you look
Yeah.
great when you smile. Like, do you cover your face because you're sharing your braces? I think they look cute. I think that's
Yeah.
what I told her. And like obviously it kind of resonated with her because people do this thing where anytime they become psychologically aware of okay, that's really why I do it, they become more internal. They keep to themselves more because it opens a vulnerability in them.
Yeah.
So since I open that vulnerability, they're going to treat me however they feel like treating me. But if you're aware of what's really going on and why people do what they do, you can help them, and helping people puts them vulnerable because they're at whim of how much you're going to help them. So they tend to get more internal. They keep to themselves, or they'll get angry or upset. It's usually one of the like three defense mechanisms kind of
That's the
ordeal that.
thing. Yeah,
So
they have to be accepting of that when you tell them, like if they're not accepting, then it's kind of hard for them to be able to
yeah, yeah.
improve.
And the best part is if anything I said wasn't true, they could just say, "No, I just that's how I laughed." But they
Hmm.
didn't. Like because they didn't, I knew myself to be somewhat correct there.
Yeah, like if you're truly like in tune with yourself and you feel good. Like I remember at my job when they were trying to get me to like cut my hair and like coming for me. My hair was like you said, the mad scientist thing. It was growing. They tried to get me to cut my hair and shit, tell me all the stuff I was do. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. They're like, oh, we're just trying to give you advice. I was like, nah, I like it like this. I was like, I want to stay like I am. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. I had people tell me, "Oh, you should dress this way. You should do that." I was like, "No, I'm good. Like, I don't really care that much about it."
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, funny thing. Actually, I was showing because I was showing those girls one time a picture of what the fuck. Sorry, I just so I was showing those girls a picture of us from when we were hanging out, and then they were looking at your hair, right? Because the picture where you're going like this, and they're like, "Oh, why is his hair so long?" I was like, "Oh, he likes it like that." Um, and they were like, "Oh, he should cut his hair," and I was like, "Why?" I was like, "One." They're like, "Oh, you should tell him to cut it." I was like, "He would not do it." I was like, "He
Yeah,
likes
I
his."
wouldn't cut my hair.
They're like, "Okay, what if?" They're like, "Yeah, but what if you told him it would help him get girls?" I was like, "He wouldn't give a fuck." I was like,
Yeah, you think I have long hair for girls? Like,
"That's what I told." I
you
was
gotta
like,
come up with better reason. If you told
Yeah.
me that maybe one day I might get in a fight and they'll pull my hair, I say I'll consider it.
"Yeah."
Like it has to be something valid. Getting if your premise for changing your appearance is to get someone else, you're doing it for the wrong
Yeah.
reasons.
Doing it for the wrong reasons.
And I've seen this on my block. It's a very interesting story because I knew this guy for I've been on this block for like I want to say 7 to 8 years. I've been around this area, and there was a guy he was dating an Instagram model, and I only found out she was an Instagram model through like my friend, but he's dating her, and suddenly over the 2 years he went from being a average kind of like gym bro Spanish guy. Now he's all tatted up, looking like Bad Bunny. Like he looks like he's tatted up now. He looks like Bad Bunny. And I realized that okay, this is what sells on the internet. So as a result, she had him change his appearance so that when they're in photos together, he can look the way she needs him to look for the social credentials she's trying to present.
Yeah.
At
I think
some point of doing this, you will lose yourself. There's no other outcome. If you're changing your appearance for other people, you will lose yourself. There is
Yeah.
no end game to that. That's the end
yeah,
game to it.
because these bitches will really try and and again, when I say bitches, I'm not being
Yeah.
that's
Hmm.
how I talk. Because I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
you
that's how we
pointed it
talk.
out how often I was like these bitches, right?
Yeah,
I
Hmm.
but
even
it's not this
at
man.
work. I mean, the girls at work, I'm like, yo, these bitches, bro. And I'll just start
Hmm.
talking. But anyways,
Yeah,
they'll really try to remodel you to have you looking like Ref said, like celebrities and rappers and all sorts of shit. Like they were trying to tell me, oh, you should get like the ASAP Rocky. I was like, I don't want to look like ASAP Rocky. I want to look like me. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't want to look like him. I was like,
Hmm.
he's an okay looking guy, but that's him. I'm
Right, right.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, so I guess another thing for our audience, right? So when you're about to approach someone, I guess you put yourself in the God state, the God mind, and that's what allows you to do it so confidently. Because, like we said before, I've never seen someone walk up as confidently towards a woman as I've seen Ref do it, where they just walk straight fucking line over. I've never seen
Yeah,
that.
I don't play games. I don't like to do the whole, how people do this like linger thing where they'll linger around you. I
Yeah,
think that's to be honest, like if I wanted to be talking in terms of these like dating coaches, that's feminine behavior. If you're just trying to put yourself in their zone, you're moving like a female would because that's how women approach men. They'll stand around you so that you can talk to them, right?
yeah.
They'll put themselves in your zone, but leave
That's
that
like
behavior for them. If you're a
That's like the
man,
woman I was talking about at my job,
yeah,
who I think she wanted some attention. She kept putting herself in my vicinity, trying to get some attention. Because I didn't give it to her, she got mad at me. It's like, well, you
yeah,
didn't say anything. If you
yeah,
really
yeah.
liked me, you should have said something. Well,
So
anyways,
what's funny is this seems to be more of a city thing because when I went to Virginia, or if you leave the state, if you leave the city, and you go to like more off-ish places, people come up to you. People legitimately will walk directly to you and talk to you.
Miami kind of felt like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
they
that they
will
were
come and
necessarily
talk to
coming
you.
up, but they were more, open and
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
that
yeah.
chick out in Miami that I met off the dating app, like I said, it was very fucking refreshing how just honest she was, how what she knew what she wanted. She told me, and she was like, it was just like very like there was no pretense, there was no pretending, no trying to play hard. She just we did what we were supposed to do. There were no games played, and I was like, this is very refreshing. I was like,
It
these
felt
New
like
York,
it felt like at NYC, yeah, it's like a battle. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
playing
This
hard to
is this
get.
is this is this is hard mode. Like you're playing
Yeah.
in the dungeon here. This is for all sakes and purposes. Meeting people in the city, you're playing hard mode.
Jay-Z wasn't lying. Like if you could do it in New York, you could do it anywhere. He wasn't talking about women when he said that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's people. It's everywhere. You know, like
What I was gonna say though, EJ, is what do you like? So you mentioned it before, but like, so intense rejection. Let's say it's like an intense rejection. How do you handle those? Like a crazy
in,
rejection where
in,
like she
in
insults you and shit.
intense reflection, you just got to reflect back on who you are.
That's
And
good.
if you have a strong foundation
Wait, did I say
there, yeah, you say, oh, you was asking
All right.
Emilio?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember, but yeah, go
yeah.
for it.
yeah, go for it, EJ.
Keep going, EJ.
No, I was just gonna say if you have a strong foundation as to who you are, no matter what type of rejection you face in life, whether it's from a woman, whether it's from a close friend, a parent, a family member, you're gonna handle that the same way you've always handled rejection,
All
and
right.
that's what it comes down to, in my opinion.
So, Ref,
Yeah,
you personally, how do you handle extreme rejections?
I look at it two ways. I say, okay, I got rejected, and then I look at the motive of the rejection, right?
Mm,
Because if someone hits you with a hard rejection, their motive is to insult or harm you. They want you to feel bad about what they did to you. And I kind of put this together that I think people give hard rejections to people they really want to attack for something you did. They want to attack you for it. For example, let's say the nerd goes up to the pretty girl and she basically says, "Oh, you're disgusting, you're lazy, you're blah blah." She wants to harm him. Like there's no way you would do that to someone unless you wanted to harm them. So that instantly becomes the motive because a simple no, sorry, no thanks works very well on polite, kind people, such as the quote stereotypical nerd, right? What I do if I ever experience hard rejection, I had this experience maybe like a few weeks ago we went slagging. You remember that girl screamed at me to like just try and make a scene?
Yeah.
I decided to just simply explain their motive and their intentions
yeah,
behind what they're doing and just tell them to treat people better because while that doesn't harm me, that level of negativity, when you bring that level of negativity into people's worlds, you don't really know how they're going to take it. If she
yeah.
had did that to someone who actually was vulnerable or had like any insecurity, he may never approach a lady again. He may just drop out the game, MTGOW gang, and just be gone. Men go their own way. He's out. He's gone.
Not
Because
only that, but you could do it back. The flip side of it, you could get intense back to that person. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
see a lot of guys do that. Like, oh,
yeah,
well, fuck you.
yeah.
Fuck
That
You
that's
you.
the
ugly
male.
anyway. Like,
That's the
Yeah,
natural like
goofy.
yeah. That's like the natural male dude. Oh fucking bitch. Like who you
yeah,
talking to? Like who you
Me
talking
and
to? You
me.
don't know who I am, right? But either way, that stems from the same insecurity of why they're trying to harm you in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to submit to that anger, if you're going to sit there and be not logical about how they treated you, you're playing their game with them
Yeah.
because there's probably nothing more that they would have wanted than for me to just start fighting the guy with them for no reason. And when this lady decided to scream at me, when I started to talk to her logically, she started to talk more and realized she couldn't do what she wanted, so she saw help in the male. He doesn't know what's going on. So I
Yeah.
explained to him what's going on. He can't have he has no response for it because he knows I'm honest, integral, and I told him the truth. So he looks for the crew, which was Geo and Moose at the time, to basically come get me. But I told him the truth. I was like, oh, I'm done after I'm done explaining.
Laughing, just laughing at the interaction. I was
Yeah,
laughing.
yeah,
yeah,
Gio was just laughing in the background. But the point is like what she doesn't realize is she's putting everyone she's with in danger acting like that.
Yeah, there's
Because
one guy and
you
3 men.
have one guy with you have 3 women. Mind you, I'm like a superhero, I guess, like so you're trying to anger someone who is capable of violence. This is why you'll never find a man attempting to anger you unless he wants violence, right? Like men don't make men angry for no reason. If
True.
they seek to anger you, they either want violence or they wanna just harm you or something
Yeah,
else.
they have a weapon or something.
Right. So if this female or these people continue this behavior, they're gonna put put others in harm, and they're gonna hurt a lot of feelings. They're gonna harm a lot of good men, and it's not right. I got a phone call. I'm gonna take it real quick.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, it's me and Ref actually witnessed this once where basically we were outside back when we were doing this all the time. We're approaching random chicks, that kind of thing. And this guy, he was with us. He sees what we're doing and he decides he wants to be with the crew, right? And this guy, we approach these girls, and she says to us, she looks over, she looks at a ref. She says to ref, "Oh yeah, you're cute, but your friends are beat." And she like pointed out, but I didn't even hear her because I was thinking about other shit. I didn't even hear what she said. So I'm minding my business. The guy starts losing his shit. He's like, "Did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said?" I was like, "No, I wasn't paying attention. What did she say?" He said, and then he repeats to me what she said, right? And I'm just like, I'm like, "Oh, so?" I was like, that's what's that gonna do to me? If that's what she thinks, that's what she thinks. I was like, Ref is talking to her though, right? And he got mad that like Ref was giving her weed. He started screaming, insulting her. She walks over to these other guys, starts telling them he's screaming. He's like, "Do something, do something." Keep in mind, this guy is a very tiny guy. Like, like he couldn't defend himself from
But
these
where
people.
where do you think he learned that behavior to respond that way from rejection? It comes from the
Yeah,
same like, oh, you gotta be alpha, you gotta be hard, gotta be
yeah.
this, don't take
That's
shit
what
from
he said.
nobody mentality.
When we were telling him how his behavior was uncalled for and like he needed to chill, he goes, "You gotta check them when they do something. You gotta check
Yeah,
them." That's
yeah.
what he's gonna say.
You
I was
don't
like,
have to you're not here to change anyone's behavior in life, you can't feel that way. So you have to move appropriate and responsible. If there's no way you're fighting anyone in Washington Square Park. Like it's a bad move. It's an
Yeah.
easy way to get stabbed. It's an easy
Cops
way
is
to
on
get
standby
shot.
over there too.
It's an easy
they
way to
weren't
go
back then.
jail.
They weren't back then. If he had gotten
Yeah,
stabbed back then, the
I know
cops.
when we went for the parking abuse, they was cops on
yeah, yeah.
standby.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they did.
damn.
That happened because idiots started
Oh,
fucking
they
with
started
the weed.
wilding out in the
Yeah, they
park. That
started
park
wilding.
became the hottest spot to hang out during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the
Bro,
pandemic, we were doing
it was in the
circles around the
papers
park.
and shit. Like,
Yeah, it became a
oh, it was
hangout
like
spot because every
the
place was
wild parties
closed.
at Wash, and we were just like, wild parties? Like, it's just a bunch of people chilling.
Wash is where you go to get washed.
Corny ass
One
niggas.
time was funny thing. One time I was in Washington Square Park and like I saw a group of like I guess I want to call them thugs only because of their behavior, but you can get the picture what kind of group this was. The typical walk around, try to be hard, be
Yeah.
menacing. Oh, what? And I had my chain on. So mind you, my chain is nothing special. It's just like a little silver chain,
It
70
don't turn
bucks.
your
I
neck
liked it a
green though,
lot.
right?
No, it's pure real stuff, right? I shower with it and everything a lot of the times.
Great,
It's a
great,
great piece of jewelry, right, from Italy.
great
And they're
purchase.
like, "Oh, what if I snatch this guy's chain right now?" I just looked at them and I was in my head I'm thinking like, "Okay, well, what's the response here? He wants me to say something so he can get calls to do it." So I just looked at him and stayed there. You know, I think that's the best way to handle it. Like some people, they'll say things that they don't really mean to escalate a situation to a place where they kind of are saying the thing because they want it to go in the first place.
Yeah, I have two stories like that where one time when I was way younger, I was sitting at a bus stop waiting for the bus, right? Sitting there minding my business. I'm reading a book. This is what I was doing. I'm reading this book as I'm sitting down. And I keep looking up every few minutes to make sure the bus is there. Some guy is like in front of me and he keeps like looking over at me. I noticed that. And see, back then when I was young, um, when I said like I used to stay by myself a lot, I frowned very often. And I wasn't frowning because I was unhappy. Like it's not why I frowned. It's just
Mhm.
I would be thinking all the
Caught up
time.
in deep thought, yeah.
Yeah, so I used to
That's
frown.
me.
Yeah, yeah, it's like old people used to say, frowning, you're gonna get wrinkles on your forehead. That was the joke they used to make. Um, so like apparently the guy, I guess, thought I was frowning at him or took issue with it. So suddenly I'm sitting there minding my business. I'm reading my book. Suddenly I notice one, I knew I could feel like you know how you can just feel someone's aura, you can feel someone in your zone. So I felt that first, but then I see the shadow over the book. So I look up and it's the guy who's like, yo, my man's keeps saying you staring at him, like you grilling him, like you got a problem. I looked at him and I was just staring at him, kept frowning at him, and I just looked back down at the book. And then he stood there like the same like the story Ray
Mhm.
told, where the guy with the comic book, he stood there for a few minutes looking stupid, and he just walked away.
Yeah. You'll
There's nothing
realize a
to do.
lot of times when people speak in that manner, like if they speak starting to you with a problem, their intent is no good for you, and you gotta find a way to just navigate that situation where no one gets harmed.
Yeah. Yeah, I just
Because
ignored him. Yeah.
I've diffused a lot of like potential fights and stuff just off a good conversation,
Right.
realizing how rational the person was
Let me tell you
or
another
wasn't.
funny part. Let me tell you a funny part two to that story though. So after he was acting hard, because when I got on the bus, instead of getting on, they were sitting there and the guy was like making fake gun signs at me. And then the
Mhm.
next day, or like the next few days after that, I saw this nigga by himself. I made sure to start staring at him on purpose. This nigga saw me, turned his body towards the door, like trying desperately not to make eye
Yeah.
contact with me. He was acting so hard when his friend was there. Now
Right.
he's trying to hide.
Because you gotta realize one thing is people do things they're ashamed of for social gain. So he was really just trying to impress his friend with all that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So when it came to the time where he had the opportunity to see you again, he didn't think he was ever going to see you again. He just
Yeah.
thought you're a random guy rigging the bus at that time who was going one place once. Once they have to see you multiple times, it's
Yeah.
interesting how quickly they change up. I had a guy
Real
one
interesting.
time. Yeah, I had a guy one time at the bar try to like egg me into fighting him, like, oh yeah, I don't trust
Yeah.
nobody. He was just talking about lack of trust. I'm like, yo, look, we're all friends here. I'm one of the friends. Like, why is your problem with me? Say, nah, I just can't trust anyone. I'm always ready for everything. Just try and be hard in front of the girls. So I was like, all right, are you a man guy? He's like, nah. He was just going on. So okay, I can't reason with this guy. He's lacking the same principles as me. Let me walk away. Next time I see him, it's all dandy. Hey man, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Because when I saw him on the street, I said hi. Hey, I said, yo, what's up? I was like, hey, how's it going? I just came up to him, say, hey, what's up? How's it going? But he was just the friendliest guy ever.
Yeah. I
Like, he was just
remember
a great person. So I
another
knew
yeah.
if women were involved in a situation, he wouldn't be acting that way. But obviously, he's probably been watching too many of these online dating coaches and thinks that's
Yeah, these
how
alpha male
it
guys.
works.
But there's
Right.
another time, this happened recently, and I told EJ and Ray the story already. I don't remember if I told you, but basically that time when we met those girls and we were trying to get them into a hotel, and they wanted to do it. At one point, we're walking right, and I see these like it was like 6 niggas, maybe like 13. It was a lot of niggas. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hmm.
And you know what type of niggas these are. I looked at them and I was
Ski
like, oh,
mask, Montclair coats.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, man, it's over." I was like,
Pigs.
it's like they're gonna
Hmm.
start trouble." And
Yeah.
I was like, one, I do not know this bitch. I was like, I just met this bitch today. I was like, not even today, tonight. I was like, I am not about to fight 6 niggas for some bitch I met
Wow, Iggy.
an hour ago. I was like, that is not happening. I was like, all right, we're just gonna have to try and make the best of this. And I was like, I turned to her. I warned her ahead of time. I was like, they're gonna start saying stuff. Just ignore them. And I was like,
Hmm.
I didn't add the part where I'm not fighting them for you. I was like, it's not
Yeah.
happening. But then they walked by, they did their thing, of course, and I just ignored them. I didn't say shit. They made sure not to touch me. They made sure not to get too close. But they did. They jeered from the sides, and then they went about their business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because
that's a testament to you guys still being alive and not in jail. Because a lot of people in life have reacted very differently to those situations and let their ego get the best of them,
oh yeah,
and it led to their demise or their downfall.
Yeah.
I have
You
a
you
family
can't
member.
you can't you can't when people come with you with ignorance, if you match it with ignorance, it's over. You're going to jail, you're getting hurt, or someone's getting hurt.
Yeah, because
And
now, imagine if I decided I wanted to be hard, right? And I wanted to test them, and now they
mhm,
decide, okay, we're not just gonna annoy you or
we're gonna
test
jump
you,
you.
we're gonna fight.
We're
Now I
gonna
have to
jump
fight
you.
6 niggas by myself. And like, see, the thing is, I remember I told you guys the story. It's like the guy I was with, I was not the most confident that it would turn out too well.
Yeah. That he wasn't gonna go down with you,
Exactly.
You
Like
know,
if it
he,
was one you guys, I would have felt a lot better. Like I still would have thought we were probably gonna lose, but at least I would feel like we could put
Wasn't
up.
there one time we were in K Town and like a group of like Asian guys were kind of looking at us funny because like I think we said like one of our usual lingos. I remember that Ray was there and like it was just like weird because like they were talking to some giants, like compared to them.
Oh no,
And like
they
you
were.
remember that, Ray,
It
right?
was some Mexican guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
some
like we
Mexican
were
and
standing there chatting,
yeah,
and then this one guy, I guess he was drunk. He just kept looking
yeah.
over me with anger, and like I noticed it, and I was like whatever, but he kept doing it. He was like, and he was pointing at me, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a few drinks in me. So when I kept seeing this, I did not respond in the most appropriate manner. So I turned to his friends like, "Yo, what's his problem?" I was like, "Yo, what's going
Yeah,
on
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Like, what did I do? Like, we can solve this right now. Come on, just
Yeah,
say
yeah, we can
it."
resort. And
I,
nothing happened, of course, because
yeah,
we
no,
can
his
just confront
friends
it.
were like, no, he's just drunk. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
One time
It's not a.
I was with my friend Ed, and he was basically some lady was like mad. It's like he's like, oh man, why are people so angry? No, like he was going on. The lady actually turns, gets mad, starts getting up in his face. So her boyfriend steps in. So I step in, and I'm just like, yo, like I'm like, you're not gonna do anything. I just told him straight, I was like, you're not gonna do anything, nothing's gonna happen. And I turned to his girlfriend, I was like, you see what you did? You pinned your boyfriend against two dudes. Like, why are you doing this to him? Like, I told her the truth. I told him the truth. I was like, we're not gonna fight. Nothing's gonna happen. But look at what you did to your boyfriend. So some other guy comes by. He tries to intervene. And I tell him the same thing. I was like, look, she's pinning her boyfriend against two men. She's putting him in danger. So hopefully, somewhere in that recognition, he either recognized the behavior in her, helps her fix it, or she never does it again.
Nah, you're
Because
completely
it's
right. You got
always
to
a
be able to
big
read that
problem.
situation. You got to read
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
If you're the woman, you got to read that
Yeah,
situation.
you
What
gotta
you're doing
read
to your
it.
man.
You
Yeah.
have to protect women have a duty to protect men
Yeah,
from other men too by not giving men
that's like
reasons to harm.
that's like that time when you were taking a whiz rep, and then he's peeing
Mhm.
and the thing's coming down, and some guy like steps in it, and I guess he's wearing like these shoes. He gets mad. He's like, "Oh my red bottoms, bro! Oh my red bottoms!" And I looked him straight in the eye. I was like, "Keep it moving, man." I was like, "Keep it moving."
Mhm.
And he just walked away.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just
Yeah,
walked
you
away.
you gave him that
I was like,
frown that.
yeah, I was like,
yeah, yeah.
keep it moving,
No,
man.
no,
Like,
it's
nothing
it's
serious.
crazy that people are so willing to act reckless. They have no they have no idea how bad situations can turn in a second. All the times I've had something go crazy, it was like one minute you're having a time of your life, and then boom, something tragic happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and most guys, they have that ego. They have to feed that superiority over men. They have that in them where they have to feel better than other men to feel good about themselves.
yeah.
And that's a very weak point of being because there's always going to be someone bigger, faster, stronger, better than you at something. So you have to feel better than other people to feel like you're worth something. You have a problem within yourself. And I
Yeah.
think that's where a lot of the aggressive male behavior comes from.
Yeah.
So real quick, ref, what's the story, man? Like we've been out a lot of times in the past. What's a crazy night out? Like whether we were a part of it or you by yourself rolling solo. Like give the stream, one story. Don't got to be too long, nothing too
Mhm.
detailed, but it was a hell of a night, as I would say. You know what I'm saying? A hell of a night for you.
I would say a lot of times I've done lone wolf stuff and I just kind of linked up with people and things went well. Get a lot of numbers, a lot of people just looking at me, happy that I'm there. I think when you pull up to anywhere, you want to make everyone there happy that you just happen to be there. Even if it's just a whisper in conversation. Oh, look at that guy, look at that, or oh, he's doing this, check him out, laughing at you, whatever you do, just make sure that people are happy that you're around. And honestly, every time I manage to accomplish that, it's been great. Pretty much the local bar here, everyone pretty much knows me. I sometimes I'm bored enough, I'll take someone who's just there for a bit, I'll just introduce them to everyone. That's always fun. No, just get people
Okay.
included, make people feel like they're at home when you're around, like they're safe. I think if you can pull up and everyone just feels safer and better because you're there, they're happy to see you, you're always going to have a good night. And this is why, like, when we couldn't get into lovers, even though we got in there often, we were getting straight disrespect. I was getting straight
It was
disrespected
crazy.
that day. You remember that day? Yeah,
Yeah.
so we couldn't get into a bar we frequent. In my head, I didn't stress that at all because in my head, I'm thinking, like, look, if people don't
We'll
want you
go
there,
somewhere else.
if people don't want you there, you're gonna have a hard time having fun. If you
Even if you
legitimately
do get
walk in,
in.
yeah,
Even if you
if you
do get in.
legitimately walk into a spot where they didn't want you in there, you're not gonna have fun.
Exactly.
And you can tell when people don't want you there. Very obvious behavior. I got two examples. I don't want to name drop locations because I'm not like a skimmer.
Nah,
But
yeah,
one
yeah,
time, one
yeah.
spot double charged me. And I know they did it on purpose because of how they moved. They even didn't give me the drink I ordered. And I said, something's up. Let me just make sure I check my bank account. Sure enough, not only did they skim me out of a drink or two, they double charged me.
Damn.
Yeah, the second time I show up to the bar, like just a different spot, and I explained to the person working there that I only have $20 in my account. This one really pissed me off. This one, I was like, I got $40 in my account. Can you charge 20 and give me a drink and just take your tip? First person does it, no problem. $20 signing off. I was like, yeah, cool. Second person decides to charge 26 after I already explained to them the same ordeal that I only have this amount. So I realized like their intention was to just get me hit with overdraft fees or ruin my budget. Either way, it was cruel behavior. And when people are like that, they don't want you there and you're just
And
not
they
gonna
think
have
you're
fun.
already drunk and could take advantage of you. You're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna
yeah. It
notice.
makes it
Yeah.
makes it makes me incredibly angry when people aren't respectful, especially if you had told them the truth. No, I was not lying to these people. And honestly, my bank doesn't even have overdraft fees. Like I could overdraft $250 and no fees, no nothing. I could just do it regularly. I have a good
Mm.
bank. I have good credit, so they don't care. So I look at people's intentions behind things, and honestly, it's obvious that something about me. They felt like I was a sucker. They felt like they could hurt me. It makes you mad. It makes you upset. And it's normal to be upset at things that are merit you being upset.
Hmm.
Yeah. The key is
What?
what you do after you get your little emotional outburst. What are you gonna do next? Are you gonna sit there miserable, or are you gonna go back to having fun? And I've almost every time if I have anything wrong with me, I go right back to having fun.
Yeah.
And
You
it might seem bipolar, it might seem crazy, but hey, what's the best thing to do? Are you gonna beat yourself up over something all day? Or are you just
That's
gonna
true.
continue having
Mm.
fun? Yeah. And
I was.
also, some random advice for those who drink. Stress hormones are stored in urine. So if you ever are really upset or something bothered you, after you sort it out, go use the bathroom and it'll get it all out of you.
That's kind
It
of funny.
sounds funny, but you can
It's
look
kind of
that up.
funny.
Stress hormones are stored in urine. So
It's like, yo, bro, if you're angry,
dude,
just go take a piss.
yeah, go. They call it relief for a reason. They call it relief
Believe me,
for a
sir.
reason.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
So I guess I have a little bit of I got the hypothetical this time. I got something funny that I saw. I want to ask you
Hmm.
guys. Just something I feel like could tickle your fancy.
Five
All
for
right.
that.
5 minutes. You're being sold as an action figure. What two accessories do you come with?
All right. One is
I
probably
want
gonna
to go
be
first. Yeah, go ahead.
probably be a Rubik's cube. Even in high school, I always had a Rubik's cube on me.
Same, same.
Just have these around for
That
some
was
reason,
it.
right? That's probably that. First, a Rubik's cube, and probably a Gundam. Like I always have one in arm's reach, some sort of like thing that you built. Like keep this on my. It's not a Gundam, but I keep like this Lego satellite on my desk, and I always had some sort of Lego device or Gundam or something that was built like around me. So those are the two things I'd come with.
What about you, EJ?
Uh, Definitely one of them has to be a pair of shades. I mean, you saw me in Miami. I was switching them up with the shades.
Yeah,
I
one.
should be wearing some shades right now, but
It's
we on
on your
street.
face. It's
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
face and lifted.
Yeah, there's some shades. The second accessory, I'll probably go with a bandana. I don't rock them in person. I don't think I even have any, but I always thought they were cool. So if I'm getting sold as an action figure, I could envision myself with some shades and a bandana.
Well, what would you Okay, I'm gonna add a second part. I guess I'll go back to Ray real quick. What would you name your action figure? Imagine you're
Come
part of
back
like
to
a
me.
line.
Come back to me. Everyone go first. Everyone
All right.
Okay.
add
So
your
you do.
Yeah.
accessories.
You're like a
So
you named the
I'm
accessory.
like
Wait,
I
let EJ come up with his name first. What his action figure would be named? You're like part
Damn.
of like a GI Joe line or something.
okay, okay.
I don't know. I can't think of a name at this moment in time right now.
I will come back to you. You go ahead,
All
Ref.
right. So like action figure, right? So I'm kind of like a GI Joe kind of action figure, right?
Your accessories and your name.
I would be damn it's hard because like I think action figure I would like a machete and a pistol.
Mm.
Mm,
Oh,
Like
like your
if I'm like a real like military grade action figure, but if I
like
was
your
more
character,
like
like your
if I was
character.
more my character myself sold in that line, I'd probably have a pack of cigarettes and a wine bottle.
That's what I was gonna.
Like if I was so in
ah.
myself, I have a pack of cigarettes and a wine
Um,
bottle. I'll just be chilling, posted up
That's
with
the
it,
best.
you
That's
know.
the best
What would
one.
you
That's the
name your
best one.
action figure? Oh, I
Oh,
got it. I got it. I'll name you. I would name you King of the Sliders. That's
King
yeah,
Slider, bro.
King
yeah, King
Slider.
Slager. King
Instead of
Slager would be good actually. I
King
like King
Slider.
Slager.
now,
There's a big
I
thing
like
for King
I
Slager.
like King of Sliders because
King
you
of
guys
Yeah,
ever
Sliders.
heard
King
of
of
the fighting?
Slagers works too.
You heard of the fighting game King of Fighters?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
King
King.
of
King
Sliders.
of
Yeah,
Sliders is yo,
King of
actually,
Sliders.
that's
yeah,
cool.
that'll probably be our like if we ever get a cast of 10 like Tekken characters that walk around like 10 we look
King
like
of
some
Sliders.
fighting game characters, right?
King
So
of Sliders.
if we ever get
Oh,
like a 10 character cast, we'll call the crew the King of Sliders, you know?
yeah, King of Sliders.
As long as we have the roster.
I did tell Ray I wanted to make like an funny little anime based on us.
Yeah.
That was like it'd be real funny if we had like a thing where it's like a guy sliding, but it's represented as if it's like these like jutsu attacks. Like in
Yeah, yeah,
actuality, he's
yeah.
just sliding, but the way it looks
Now that
from
you
the
could I can see that actually being hot where like he'll get
yeah,
caught with something and then he'll be like, "Oh, time to unleash my new technique," you know?
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. But
Mhm.
okay, EJ, what's your action figure name?
Action figure name. Man, I can't
Risk
top
God.
King of Sliders.
Risk God.
Riz
Oh,
Uh,
God.
You got Risk God works. It's there. It's Risk
and he
God.
has
I
a bandana. You're wearing a bandana and shades. That is Riz. If it was
Risk God, yeah.
bandana and shades.
Riz God.
I go with that. I go with that.
Riz God. What about you, Raytron? Your action figure
See,
name?
I can't think of anything but calling it Raytron TVH.
Yeah.
Like that's been my identity for years,
And like
bro.
I can see it, right? So like with EJ's action figure on the plastic, it's like King of Sliders written in that game font, like that
Yeah,
Yeah.
Street
yeah, and
Fighter.
then it'll be like Risk God.
Yeah,
I
Riz
guess
God. Raytron, I see it like that kind of techno font where it's
I
like,
do like Sigma Supreme though. I think that's
Sigma
that's funny too.
Supreme.
oh
Like
no, that
Sigma
would be the
Supreme.
line. That would be the
Yeah.
line of action figures. Sigma
Hmm.
Supreme, the Sigma Supremes.
Yeah,
Oh
it would
man,
work.
but, my action figure, I was thinking about this. It would probably be a pencil and a pad. I can
Oh
see
yeah,
that.
why did you have a pencil that day? You had like some pens and paper one day when we were trying to get into a spot in Washington Heights.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you had like a pen and paper, a pencil and paper. You're just like, I
I
got a
just used to
pencil.
carry shit like that around to write
Yeah,
down
yeah. The
thoughts.
bouncer was like, you don't use. It's not like a special pencil, right? Pencil. He's like, go inside with it. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, because I was saying, can I get in with this? He was like, I mean, unless you're John Wick, he was like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what he said. That
Mhm.
shit killed me when he said that. But yeah, I'd have a pencil and a pad, and I was thinking a funny name, Writer's Block. That would be the name of
Yeah, I
my
like it. Writer's
Well, is a
block.
pencil and pad two different accessories? I would have counted them as together, like as one.
Okay, so I gotta think of two completely different separate ones. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
see. I'll have a pencil.
I would picture you with like a book or something.
There
A
you go.
book, definitely a book.
Just
Yeah.
looking at a book, you know.
A book. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of the pencil then, because I feel like a pencil is also related to a book, right?
Well,
Could
it
be.
matches the theme, you know.
Or you
Wine
could,
and
like
cigarettes are
it's
related
fine.
to me.
Like Barbie come with multiple dresses, right? It's not like, oh man, we already got one dress, we can't have another one. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, a book and a pencil. There you go. Writer's block.
They'll sell the pencil on the side to make extra come up.
Yeah.
You get the
no,
notepad.
It's like you get the base pencil, but if you want the pen, that costs $5.99. And if you wanted the mechanical pencil, that's gonna be $7.99 because it worked. It's a real
Yeah,
tiny
yeah.
mechanical pencil.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, and the book is Emilio's story. It's just like what is it? A vigil mistaken. That's the name of the book.
Mhm.
A vigil mistaken.
It'll be written by King of Sliders.
King's letters. Yeah.
Connect the
But
universe.
anyway, I suppose we can get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
now.
we can wrap this up.
Yeah, we've been here for quite a while. We learned a lot about the ultimate figure. We had some time talking to him off camera.
Thank you for
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
being a part of this. Anytime
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
to come back.
Anytime you want to come
We
on,
can on stream all the time anyway, but if you want
Yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I'll definitely pop up again, maybe in like a few weeks or so.
anyways, any final thoughts? Anything?
Make your bed. Remember, make your bed. I didn't make my bed today. That's why I've been
I
so
ain't reading
tired.
that. That's
Yeah, I
that's
didn't get
the
to
right
make my
talk.
bed either.
I actually don't make my bed. I use it every day. I'm not wasting my
good.
time.
I'm
on
not
that.
making my bed either. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Like you gotta remember, like sometimes these chores they set principles, but if you got better things to do, save some energy, save some time for the things you really
I'm
want to
actually
do.
doing laundry though. So remember to do your
Yeah.
laundry. That's the quote of the day. Do your
Facts.
laundry.
For sure.
I
Do
guess
your
I'm the corny
laundry.
nigga here because I really do be sitting there making my bed.
Corny
and
ass nigga right there. Look at him.
Wow.
Everyone point and laugh. Point and
Wow, he
laugh.
make his bed. Look at this dude.
I made my bed and clean up
He's
my
a
room a little
bed
bit.
maker.
Yeah, this man has never cleaned a room in his life, bro. Oh my
I
god.
bet you sleep on that bed too. I
clean
bet you
it.
sleep with the sheets made just so you ain't gotta do them in the morning sometimes with your bed making
You
stuff,
don't
right?
sleep in the bed. You sleep on the bed.
I've done that before.
Of course you have, bro, because that morning bed making be a chore.
I've slept on top of the sheets before, so I didn't
Of
have to.
course, just to avoid the chore in the morning. But why not just sleep peacefully, avoid the chore in the morning, sleep again?
Bro, the real kicker is just don't got no sheets. You can't make a bed if there's no bed to be made. Big brain
Exactly.
shit right there.
Don't even,
I
and
definitely
you don't
keep the
have to,
sheets on though.
you don't have to worry about the bed at all if you're just sleeping on the floor.
Bro, you don't gotta worry about the bed if you just never sleep. Stay on your grind set, bro. Sigma milk shit, bro.
Worry about
Facts.
cleaning
7
your
days a
house.
week.
You don't gotta worry
7
about
days a
cleaning your
week.
house if you don't have a house.
All right, that's some homeless man shit. You can't be saying shit.
I know a homeless guy who has a whole palace.
That don't even make any
Hey.
sense.
Well,
That's the,
hey,
how
man,
how is he
got it.
homeless if he got a
got
palace,
it.
bro?
He got it. It's a
Like-
palace.
Like if
got
he got a
his
place to
own
lay his
little
head, is he
palace.
homeless? Like, well, it's not a
Yeah,
like
that's
you don't got no
his
address.
palace. Is bro. If he's homeless by any man's standard, well, he got the palace. So I'm saying
Look,
he's
man.
been squatting on that land for like 10 years.
Doesn't
no funny.
isn't
He's
there
been
some
squatting on
law
that
that
for
like
10 years.
if you've been doing that for that long, it's just yours now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different conversation for a different day. I'll see y'all.
Yeah.
I'll catch
But
you.
who owns it more? The person who charges it with their energy and time and motivation, or the person who just signs the paper?
Nah, so
You know, like
that one is a question for y'all to ponder.
right.
to think
Anyone who
about.
thinks philosophically would say the person who puts the energy into things really own it.
Yeah.
Fact.
Well, anyways, catch you same bad place, same bad time.
Yep.
Vanguard out.
Peace out.